Good evening, everybody! We're not dead! Okay, he might be about to be, but, blame the government. Yeah, I'd like to apologize very quickly at the start here for our complete absence and, lack of communication. Basically...
I'm not apologizing. I was on holiday.
Yeah, Chris got snowed under with theatre production, and then he fled the country after said theatre production. Seriously, they finished the show, he dived headfirst through a car window and went straight to the airport.
But also, Dragon has a new job. So
hey, Dragon!
We do love Dragon. Hello.
Fantastic.
Hello.
Missed you, man. I've been really pretty busy with Alliance games and kind of working on prepping that and dealing with life shit. But the good news is I've quit my job now, so I can focus on game development full time. And I might be taking up a more D&D oriented job in the near future, possibly.
Very exciting.
We'll see. We'll see. I got people to talk. Well, hey, I'm glad you're in a better place, Dragon. Jesus, that makes you sound like you died.
Literally a better place.
But hey, same shit, come for your chair. It's a nice thing. Anyway, we are here to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, as we so often do. Because
the thing that nobody's talking about.
The thing that nobody's talking about. You know, it's this niche thing that nobody really cares about. Because, as a little present to myself, as a little quitting my job present to myself, I bought this, which is the new 2024 Player's Handbook. I also have the DM's Guide, but I have not read that yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. And yeah, so Chris has not read this book. I've read a good chunk of it. And so he is going to interview me about the things and sort of talk about what the changes are from 5e into 5.5. Everyone and their dog has talked about this, but that's pretty much where I got all my information before. Because I know I've mentioned changes before, but now I've actually read the book. And I've sat down with my game design hat on and gone through the little bits of minutia on a lot of things. There's stuff I like. There's stuff I don't like. There's stuff I think is a good idea. There's stuff I think still needs fixed. Homebrew content is always a good thing. I think Ginny D just put out a video quite recently that was about an easy way to make homebrew monsters, so you might want to go check that out. Yeah. But we have the new rules, and specifically the new classes, the new stuff about backgrounds, and then some like quality of life change stuff that I'm going to be talking about as I pull content out of the fucking bags into my eyes. Yes, the main thing, I will say at some point, like I'm not saying that either version is perfect, and I will be, okay, new cleric domains are great. And I will be, at some point, probably quite far in the future, sitting down and creating my preferred hybridization of these things. And that is what I would recommend to people, is take the bits you like from each edition, because there are some changes that are good, and there are some things in the old thing that are better. But that is entirely up to your dungeon master, and worth talking to them about. Always work it out. D&D is like good sex. It's all about communication.
I was just about to
and
make
sometimes
this
better
joke.
when there's 6
of
of you. Not always better when there's 6 of you. That's going to be a
but
little
always better when everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly. And everyone has 50 feet of rope. It's been a long couple of months, folks.
Fucking sounds like it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh dear.
You like to ask me questions, dear brother?
I would like to ask you questions. My very first question is: are we really calling it 5.5?
A lot of the official name is D&D 2024, which I think sounds really corporate and shit.
Because we gave up on one D&D
Oh
And-
yeah, because that got associated with so much bad shit.
Yeah, and calling it D&D 2099 is probably copyrightable.
Yes, unfortunately, the Cyberpunk people have that one. They copyrighted the entire year 2020. That's why we got the coronavirus, is because they got really upset and released it. So everyone would stay
What
indoors
about-
with the machines.
2000 AD&D.
2000. Oh, that would be great! Oh god! Oh, that would be amazing!
Just saying, the idea is just out there. Someone can claim it.
Judge Dredd is either a crown or a conquest paladin. I'm leaning towards conquest.
I don't know. He is the law.
Hey, Ether. How you doing, man? Anyway.
Do you stand the law?
But yes, I am going to refer to this new book as 5.5 because fuck it, there was a D&D 3rd edition and then they did 3.5. So,
Alright.
it makes sense. We have Conquest Paladin with Zealot Barbarian bits. Oh, that's scary. That's fucking scary.
Well, his gun does have multiple different kinds of shots, so that really is just do you smite or not.
Yeah, that is just...
And then some
DM
of
let
it
you
is
do
do
gun
you
smites.
rage or not. Yeah.
Yeah. DM let you do gun smites.
I mean, right. Okay, so, well then, I suppose that's the first question. In D&D 5.5, can we do gun smites?
So... Yeah, Edwin, that would have made sense. But no, they didn't do that. But yeah, so the fun thing about that is, in the original DM's guide, and loads of people don't know this, and it's really fucking funny, there are guns. There are guns in the original DM's guide. There are laser guns in the DM's guide.
Wait, what?
There is a
thought
plasma rifle in the Dungeon Master's guide.
Okay.
Because it's the only sort of nod to, like, futuristic settings that you can do for D&D that's in that fucking book. Is, hey, if you want to do laser guns, here's how you do it. And it's, like, one page, and it's a bitch to find. But, yeah. With the original Paladin,
Okay. Can we please do, like, Starship Troopers, but it's illithids with plasma rifles? Or even better, Mars Attack, but it's illithids with plasma rifles.
That's better. That's better. I was just trying to think, like, shit, how do we how do we do the conversion from, like, bugs to illithids? But we don't.
I was thinking the illithids would be the humans, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Anyway, yes, so, they did bad things to paladins this time around. So, you know how in the original edition,
Yes. I think Dragon might have spoiled what you're about to say, but go on.
I mean, no, he's not, but that's a cool thing. You know how you had things like Branding Smite and Blinding Smite? They were bonus action spells.
Aye.
Yeah, they decided to go the whole hog and just make Divine Smite that. Divine Smite is a spell now.
Can other classes just pick it up?
Yeah. Which annoys me. Like, you always have... Level 2, Paladin Smite. You always have the Divine Smite spell prepared. In addition, you can cast it without expending a spell slot, but you must finish a long rest before you can cast it this way again. You get one free smite per long rest, but you have to use a bonus action to do it, which I feel undermines the one thing that I like that they did to paladins. Was they made Lay on Hands a bonus action. Which makes it unbelievably fucking useful.
Yeah, I'm like, Lay on Hands, the bonus action is good, but now you've got to, like, Now, Edwin is the smite spell not on any spell list?
Let me
I'm
just-
guessing.
I am just hunting for it.
Right, you double check
Good.
that. But then,
Divination,
yes.
Divine Favor. Divine Smite is only on the Paladin spell list.
Okay, so in theory, you would need to take a feat or be a bard to get it.
Yes.
I mean, bards that smite is fun.
Bards that Smite is fun. Like, that's a cool idea. And the one thing I will say that I do like about Divine Smite as a spell now is that it does lean very well into multi-classing. Because previously, Divine Smite capped out at 5d8.
Yeah.
68 if you're hitting a fiend or an undead. It doesn't have a ceiling anymore.
Because it's a leveled spell, so you can,
Yeah.
I suppose, technically use a 9th level slot.
You could do a 9th level smite and it would be cool, but it's a bonus action which you take immediately after hitting a target with a melee weapon or an unarmed strike. So I like that unarmed smites are absolutely canonically a thing now. Like, a theory I have behind this book is that someone on the design team was a hardcore monk player. Because
explain why.
The things they have done for monks in this book, both in the class itself and in surrounding stuff to make unarmed strikes more, like, defined as a thing and in the definitions of spells and abilities, is brilliant. It's terrifying. But I don't like that Divine Smite is now a bonus action because it sweeps the paladins. It's weird because it kills the paladin's strength by addressing its major weakness. Because the major weakness of the paladin is that you burn through those fucking slots really fast. The way you beat a paladin is you fuck them in the resource management.
Whereas now, the action economy is actually the thing that you've got to watch with the paladin.
Yeah, because they lose... To smite, they have to use both an action and a bonus action. Because they need to attack, and they need to use this bonus action. And also, you only get one bonus action. They can only do it once.
Question, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so if you've got multi-attack, you can only smite on one of those attacks.
Exactly.
But, on that, when you were reading that out, it said as a bonus action after you hit someone.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, that's kind of...
That's how it worked anyway.
Standard smite before. But it's different from the spell smites you had before.
That's true. That is true. Whereas they would only... You would have to hold concentration on them, and they would only trigger after you hit someone.
Yes, there's a level of prep there, whereas this is a
Yeah.
bit more reactive, which is maybe more...
If they had made
Some
Divine
people's
Smite
style.
in that mold, I would have been a lot more annoyed, actually, because that would have been way worse.
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, exactly.
Because the manager's like, I'm concentrating on my Divine Smite. Oh no! It's hard for paladins to break concentration anyway past level 6, but still.
Well, the problem, of course, being you can't concentrate on two things, and you can't have spirit... You would then not be able to have Spirit Guardians and Smite.
Spirit Guardians or Divine Favor at earlier levels, like this... Yeah. They've really done the half-casters dirty in this book.
But half-casters were already being done dirty in Standard 5e!
Like, paladins were crazy powerful. Crazy powerful.
Yeah,
But
they were just them.
It was just them. And also, they had a lot of... Like, a lot of their shit was, again, burst damage. And there were some fairly glaring weaknesses in paladins and ways to deal with them. And rangers... Man, they made rangers so meh.
No! I love rangers!
Yeah,
what
so
did
do
they
I.
do to my beloved rangers?
They went the wrong way with it. This thing. The one thing I will say is that the smite thing is actually emblematic of a problem I have with a number of classes and subclasses that have been done here. Is I feel that there was at a certain point, I don't want to say a lack of imagination kicked in, but it seems that they had a sort of default thing that they just went to when they couldn't think of an ability, which was, you have X spell or spells always prepared.
But that... That seems kind of pointless for, like, divine casters, for instance. Okay.
There's a couple of wizard subclasses that have it. I think 1 or 2 bards as well. The divine smite thing. And rangers!
But rangers aren't, like... Well... Rangers don't prepare spells, though, because they have set spell lists. That's part of the... That was part of the thing with rangers.
Yep, that was one of the things I didn't like about rangers, I will say. Where's spellcasting? Spellcasting for rangers. Nope, that's paladins and classes. It's rangers. So you get your spellcast with rangers. You get your spellcasting level 1 instead of level 2, which is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. They have done one nice thing for prepared casters.
Okay.
That I quite like, which is because you know how clerics and druids you can swap out all your spells in a long rest.
Yeah, because that was like the divine caster thing.
Yeah, sorcerers, rangers, and wizards can now swap out one spell in a long rest. So it does still give you that level of versatility, but like
Rather
a little
than,
bit
like,
more
having
than
to, like,
previous.
So rather than like having to pick your spells every level up and then being stuck with those spells forever.
Yeah. So if you get stuck with a bum spell, you can, which I think is really good for newer players who are like, oh, this spell sounds cool, I'll try it. Oh, I don't like it. I'm not stuck. You're not stuck with it anymore, which I do like.
Okay. I can vibe with that.
Yeah. Other thing I will say, in praise of this book, just looking at the spellcasting thing for rangers, the way that a lot of things are explained in this book is so much clearer. Like they have done a really, really good job of improving the clarity of things.
Jonathan, what will the YouTubers do without endless debates on the rulings on particular spells and abilities?
Look, man, J-Craw is gone. There is no high authority to appeal to anymore. God is dead.
Well, that seems a little bit sad.
Oh yeah, did you not hear? The lead designer and director of D&D both left.
I did hear that, yes, and it heralds bad things. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about bad things, Jay. We're talking about hope for the future.
I mean, we're also talking about bad things. I was just bitching about the Divine Smite thing. And speaking of bad things, let's talk about Rangers. Because I have views. Now, this is one of those things that I feel might be a slightly contentious topic. And I feel might be a... We're not English! Fuck you!
I was gonna say, Philatovilia, you picked exactly the wrong stream.
We are Scottish! We're well brought up, but we're Glasgow born and bred, you bastard. Anyway, Rangers!
See, this is, now you're gonna stop doing the freedom, absolutely. You can tack our lives, but they can't tack our trousers. I was gonna say this is where we stop doing the phone voice, and we have to pure broaden it now, Jay.
We'll have to. We'll have to.
We have to.
Oh, we fucking have to. Anyway, as a true Glaswegian, let's talk about Rangers.
No, I will have no sectarian pish on this stream.
I mean, it does kind of give it away. The entire, Ranger section is printed in blue. And it just says, "We the people" at the top.
That is exclusively a joke for people living in Scotland. I do apologise.
Specifically
Continue.
Glaswegians. It's a very real joke.
Do you have a machine gun for your leg? I was considering.
That's a reference to a movie I haven't seen.
Oh,
And I'm annoyed that... Because I know what the reference is, because I've played Broforce, but I don't remember what the movie is. Anyway.
Oh shit, aye.
the thing I was going to bring up.
Long time since I played Broforce. Yes, talk about Rangers.
The thing I was going to bring up. I don't believe that Hunter's Mark should be a spell.
Fair.
For 2 reasons. 1. Okay, Samurai Jack, right. Oh, it's the big kilted guy from Samurai Jack,
boy.
yeah.
And he's got a ginger wife.
And he's got a ginger wife who's a fucking monster.
That's pretty peak Scottish representation.
Oh, it's absolutely great because it's the. I've not seen a lot of Samurai Jack, but it's just this one bit I remember because it's him and the Scotsman like fighting back to back, and his wife's just standing on the sidelines, absolutely just getting at that. And one of the guys they're fighting, I think calls her fat, and she just goes, and the Doom music starts playing, and she murders all of them while the Scotsman's standing in the middle going, "Yeah, that's my wife!" As she fucking rips these robots in half. It's magic. Absolutely fucking magic. But yeah, what they have done is they have tried to build the Ranger around Hunter's Mark.
But keep it as a spell.
But they've kept it as a spell. The other thing is that for anyone who wants to use something like Hunter's Mark, there is actually a better... Yeah, it should be an innate class ability. That's what I'm kind of getting at. But if you want to do... for example, Hunter's Mark is a good choice for monks to get. Because it does things. But problem is, there is actually a better spell for that. And it's Hex. Because not only did Hex do the extra damage, it also gives disadvantage on ability checks of a chosen ability, which admittedly is a bit more niche, but it's an extra effect, and I think it does trigger more. They did remove the fucking Cavalier sub. No, actually they didn't. They did not. Actually, they changed it. There is a Cavalier subclass.
I thought they just made paladins all have horses.
Oh, they did that too, which was stupid. But I do like what they did with fighters. They did things with fighters that I like. No, because it was. No, they didn't. No, they did get rid of the. They did get rid of the Cavalier because it's the. Each of the classes, I will say, in the book has 4 subclasses off the bat, which is great. Which I like. But yeah, with Rangers and Hunter's Mark, it's the ability is favored enemy. You always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared. You can cast it twice without expending a spell slot, and you regain all expended use of this ability when you finish a long rest. The number of times you can cast the spell without a spell slot increases when you reach certain Ranger levels, as shown in the favored enemy column of the Ranger table. What? That's a class feature with extra steps.
Can I just they've replaced favored enemy with you get Hunter's Mark, but not for free.
Yep. Your weaponized racism is gone.
But and I appreciate that it was situational.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, they could have absolutely done a lot of better things to improve it as a feature. But favored enemy was a great feature. It made Rangers really interesting. It was the only class that could just look at a thing and be like, here we go, let's find out everything that's wrong with, this thing that we're fighting. And I have the information. I just know it.
Exactly.
As a Southern man, they need to bring back the weaponized racism.
There were things that could have been done to change the favored enemy. This is basically it's like the Tasha's feature favored foe, which was basically you have a class ability that is like Junior Hunter's Mark. The problem with that was you still needed to concentrate on it as if it was a spell, and it was only a D4 of damage.
Yeah, so it was pish.
This feels worse.
It does kind of sound like they have made Rangers into a one-trick pony, which...
Well, do you want to know what makes it worse?
Please.
So, at the beginning, you get some decent stuff. You get your weapon mastery, which I'll talk about later, because I think weapon mastery is genuinely a really... No, not all of it's weaponized. Some of it is just environmental.
I say, no, it's just that if you're a racist, you're a weapon.
If you're a racist, you're a fucking weapon.
There we go.
Everybody's welcome on this stream, unless you're a cunt.
Nae bad cunts. Good cunts are
Good
welcome.
cunts only. Nae bad cunts. There's too many Americans around. Anyway, so you get level 2, you get expertise, and a couple of extra languages. I like that. Rangers can be really good at learning languages. I very easily got a... Don't leave, dragon, please.
God damn it.
Yeah, I made a ranger. I made a swarm keeper. Really fun. She had like 9 languages. Like, she spoke so many languages. It was really good. It makes and adds an extra thing for rangers to do outside of combat, which is very important for a martial class. Yeah, you get your fighting style, you get your subclass, ASI, extra attack, 10-foot movement speed increase while you're not wearing heavy armor, also a climbing speed and a swim speed. First 6 levels, that's not bad.
That's the kind of thing that, no, we love that you're here, Phyllis Avila. We are delighted that you're here. We just didn't say anything.
I was in mid-flow. Now, this is where it gets bad. This is where it starts kind of getting worse. Because 9th level, you get 2 things of expertise.
Linguistic master sounds pretty good. Sorry.
Alright.
2 things of expertise.
You get 2 things of expertise, which is alright, fair.
That's good.
Yeah, but...
Well, given that expertise used to kind of be mainly a rogue thing.
It did used to be... They've expanded that a lot, because wizards can now get an expertise in something. And rangers can get a bit more. That's nice. Like, rangers should be good at skills. Like, you should have some good skill stuff going on. And then you get level 10. Tireless. 2 abilities. Whenever you finish a short rest, you can decrease your exhaustion level, which is fine. Not really a great thing for level 10, to be honest with you. Because people are doing 5th level spells and shit by now. Yeah. And as a magic action, which is what they've said of, like, they've made it a specific action where it's like, it's a magic action to cast a spell. Like dodge, disengage. I think it's just a point of clarity.
Okay. Like you can't do multi-attack with leveled spells type thing.
Maybe, yeah, just a specific that. As a magic action, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. You can use this action a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Hang on a second. So, at level 10, you get the ability to expend a spell slot.
No, you don't expend a spell slot.
Oh, no, but use the same... But in terms of magic economy, instead of casting a spell, you can gain a d8... Was it plus your wisdom modifier?
Yeah.
A d8 plus your wisdom modifier in temp hit points at level 10.
Yeah.
For a whole bastard action.
For a whole bastard action.
Fuck off.
That's the thing, yeah. Oh my god, you're fucking right, Edwin. The number of times you can cast Hunter's Mark. The number of times you can cast Hunter's Mark is exactly equal to your proficiency bonus. It goes up at the exact same time. I had not noticed that. That makes that even stupider. That ability's shite.
Okay.
And then...
Okay.
You get a subclass and an ASI 11 to 13.
Anyways. People who have the magical consistent group for 10 years. That's who gets to level 10.
5 years, but still. I've done it in half the time. I've gotten to level 13.
We have actually, and you know what? I'm grateful.
Speaking of level 13, this is a feature that I feel, if you are going to build it around a spell, should have been so much earlier. Level 13. Taking damage can't break your concentration on Hunter's Mark.
level 13.
At level
you
13.
Get to maintain concentration on the one thing your whole class is based around.
For an extra D6 of damage.
I mean, you know what, Jay? I'm just positively wet at the thought of that. I am drenched.
I mean, they have also changed Hunter's Mark. So, here's the thing. Do you know what's the worst thing about Hunter's Mark?
Well, Feltavilla, if you play as a fighter, then you need to get to level 11 as a fighter. You want to hit all the time.
Yeah, you want to hit things with sword 3 times. Or possibly
3 times.
6 times. Like,
hells yeah.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark. You magically mark. Here's the thing. Hunter's Mark is. It's concentration up to an hour, and your majority going to be using this in combat. If a combat lasts longer than an hour in game time, something has gone horribly fucking wrong, and you're probably all dead.
I mean,
the upcasting for
10 minutes in game time.
The upcasting for Hunter's Mark increases the duration, and that's it.
What? It increases the duration on a concentration spell.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Here's the thing. You mark one creature within range, 90 feet. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra d6 of force damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack roll, which I'm not sure I like that they made it force damage, because that means that if you come up against anything that has a resistance to force damage, your ranger's shit out of luck. It's actually a Chinese thing, that's why. The 6 with your thumb and pinky. The 6 with your thumb and pinky, it's a Chinese sign language thing. It's the only bit I know.
I'm so confused, but I'm happy for you.
I'm not. I just read a whole bunch of analyses about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Excellent.
Yeah. Whenever you hit with an attack roll, so it's an extra d6 on each attack, so it's 2d6 a turn. Big fucking whoop.
Huge. Big
Yeah, your free castings do not increase the spell level. You have to cast it at first level, as by sort of the rules of free casting.
What? Fuck off.
You also have advantage on any wisdom, perception, or survival checks you make to find it.
To find
to find the target of your Hunter's Mark. So but the thing is, that only works.
You don't get to automatically know when they are. You just get advantage on saving throws to find them.
Checks.
Okay, checks. I was like, saving throws?
Thing is, that only works if you have seen the thing and it has hidden, because you have to cast it on something you can see.
Go get clean.
Yeah, go get clean.
Wash your brain out. Go ahead.
And then finally, if the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can take a bonus action to move the mark to a new creature you can see within range.
And being a spell, it can now be dispelled.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're trying to make Hunter's Mark be useful out with combat.
This is...
Don't say anything interesting while I'm gone. We make 0 promises. Actually, I make all the promises. I've never said an interesting thing in my life. Fuck
Not
off.
once. I've known him 27 years. He's never said anything interesting.
Never.
Anyway, so yeah, level 13, and you can't break concentration on that. Oh, trust me, it gets worse.
So shit.
It gets way worse.
Oh god, come on.
So, I mean, you get to make yourself invisible as a bonus action at level 14.
That's not bad.
Until the end of your next turn.
That's pish.
That is pish. But once again, you get all that back on a long rest.
In 5e, a Fey Warlock gets that at level 5.
So, on the subject of...
Plus a teleport.
On the subject of actual casters.
Okay.
What does every full caster get at level 17?
9th level spells?
Exactly. You get your first 9th level spell slot. You get people who are casting Wish, Meteor Swarm, opening gates to other planes, making themselves completely invulnerable. What does the ranger get? You have advantage on attack rolls against the creature currently marked by your hunter's mark. At 17th level.
Obviously, this being the case, you're still only doing an additional d6 of damage.
You're only ever doing an additional 2d6 of damage total, because you're only getting 2 attacks, and you're only getting... Hunter's Mark cannot level up its damage.
Awesome.
And here's the thing, do you know what? And the final thing, the capstone feature, the reward you get for sticking with a ranger to 20th level. At this level, barbarians and new monks are going beyond the scale of your ability to, like, your max for ability scores. Wizards are getting 3rd level spells that you can cast for free, like cantrips. The damage die of your Hunter's Mark is a d10 rather than a d6. That is your 20th level ranger feature.
So you mean rather than any other class, just from 5e, where your damage would scale, at 20th level you get to use a d10.
You're now doing 2d10 instead of 2d6.
But that's on 2 attacks.
Yep.
1d10 per attack.
Yep.
I don't even know why they bother putting the ranger in if that's what they're going to give them. Honestly, that's just like... That's unbelievably shite.
I'm going to put the ranger down for the moment. Which, admittedly, it seems like that's what Wizards of the Coast is trying to do. Just take it behind the woodshed.
Yeah, fucking absolutely take it, yeah, behind the woodshed and put fucking as much ammunition at the back of its fucking head as possible.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because, at some point in a future stream, Chris, I want you and me to sit down and I want us to try and make our own version of the ranger.
Easy.
And not necessarily make it incredible and overpowered. We're probably not going to touch the subclasses because that's a lot of shit.
But I can tell you exactly what the ranger needs to be. I'm more than happy to make, like, just the ranger class and make it good.
We'll do the ranger class. Loads of people have done it, but we'd like to do it justice. And I want to try and go... I do genuinely want to try and go with what they are doing here. Like, you can see what the vision is. It's just that it's been about as poorly executed... But as poorly executed as a Texan murderer. Like, this thing is sitting in the chair, its head is on fire.
5 lethal injections later and it's still twitching.
Aye, 5 lethal injections later and it's still twitching. So the spark of life is there. So I'm gonna put Rangers down for a minute, and I'm gonna talk about something that I really do like about this new book that I think is a fantastic thing for all martial classes.
We are proud of you for not falling and breaking your neck, Philatavilla. Well done.
Excellent. Less broken necks in this world.
Are you now clean? Most important thing. Are you alive and clean? Because if you're alive and dirty, you have to go back.
Then, yeah, if you're still dirty, you did the shower wrong.
Skill issue. Can't shower.
Where is it? That's ability scores, species. Anyway, there is a thing... there's a couple of things I like. I'm going to talk quickly about weapon masteries. I mentioned them earlier, but we didn't really go into detail. And I'm trying to desperately find the bit for it. Why have I got Bard? Oh yeah, there is like a social interaction example. There is actually there's a section of like, hi, here's how to socially interact with people.
Hi, we believe that you have never spoken to another human being in your fucking life.
It is
Here's how to talk to people.
It's like, look, you might need to know this.
If you roll a charisma check against the bar wench, she may not fuck you immediately.
This is why I always carry dice. To show people that I shouldn't be fucked. Oh, I should have said, can he be fucked? That would have been so much funnier.
I know, I think shouldn't be fucked is pretty good.
Oh.
Keep rolling, Philadelphia. You get there. You'll get there.
Ah, mastery, right. It's at the other end of the book. But yeah, weapon mastery. Basically, every weapon now has a little extra bonus feat, basically, that it does. A bonus feature. Which is incredible.
That sounds quite good, because weapons are really homogenous in 5e.
Yeah. Well, as exemplified by the fact that everyone only ever uses the same few weapons. Like, did you know there is another weapon that does 2d6 worth of damage than the greatsword? There is another one. And it's the maul. But the only difference is that it does bludgeoning and the greatsword does slashing. And nobody... Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck.
What if you want to collect a maul?
Then you are the weirdest fighter. Where the hell is it? I had the sidebar before. Mastery properties, right. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. There are only 8 of them. They are shared across a whole bunch of weapons. And they've all got a bunch of extra shit, like, which makes a lot of... I mean, if you can tell us who made the video, I'll happily go and watch it, because you know what? Changes to D&D weapons to make them more interesting is always cool.
Yup.
But yeah, you get Cleave, Graze, Nick, Push, Sap, Slow, Topple, and Vex. Cleave, basically, you hit someone with a melee attack, you get to make a second attack against someone who is within 5 feet of the opponent. They take less damage from that attack, because you don't get to add your ability modifier. Like, for example, with a greatsword, it'd be just the 2d6, not the 2d6 plus your strength.
Yeah, but that's still pretty good, and it's a free thing for fighting multiple people.
Basically a free extra attack, and it's really handy. You only get to do it once per turn, but that still gives you an extra attack for nothing. Yeah. It's great. And means you can go at 2 people at once, which is always really, really... Because numbers in D&D stack up. Like, if you want to kill your players, throw them lots of monsters, don't throw them big monsters.
Well, it's like that was weirdly 5e, like one of your OG ranger subclasses.
The Hordebreaker thing, yeah, the Hunter.
Yeah, gets multiple things for fighting groups. So that's nice that they're kind of bringing that more into the range for like everybody, depending on your weapon.
Well, it gets better because the
Bob World Builder, by the way.
Yeah, Bob World Builder. I'll look that up. Thank you, Philadelphia. On the subject of big problem with martials, all you have is attacks. So if you attack and you miss, you've done nothing. You feel like you've done nothing. The Graze property fixes that. If your attack roll with a weapon misses a creature, you can deal damage to that creature equal to the ability modifier used to make the attack roll. This damage is the same type dealt by the weapon, and the damage can be increased only by increasing the ability modifier. So even if you miss, you still do a bit of damage.
That's pretty sexy.
Like, all of that kind of wasted turn thing that you get with, like, upfront fighters, gone. If you use a Graze weapon, gone. Which is, things like the Glaive or the Greatsword. There's not a lot of things with Graze, I will say that. So there's Glaive, Greatsword. I think there's a range weapon with it. Nope, that's just all melee weapons. Yeah, but it's still good. And then there's the Nick ability, the Nick one, which is really cool if you're a monk or a rogue. When you make the extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of a bonus action. So you know how when you're dual wielding light weapons, you make the second attack as a bonus action?
Yes.
If that weapon now has the Nick property, that becomes part of your action. You free up your bonus action. So if you're a monk, you can suddenly have 2 weapons and do flurry of blows.
That is pretty sexy.
Or if you're a rogue, you can do 2 attacks and still have your cunning action.
Yeah, no, that's very good.
That fucking slaps. Again, it only works on light weapons, so this doesn't combo with the dual wielder feat. Admittedly, I don't think anything that would have Nick would really benefit from that. So yeah. Push is obvious. You hit someone, you push them 10 feet. If they're large or smaller. There is no saving throw. You just knock them about. Which
very helpful.
Is insanely interesting and funny and very powerful.
It gives a lot of options for Acme cliff falling antics.
Exactly. Or getting people into range of spells and things. Or knocking people in the teeth and running the fuck away without having to use the disengage action.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's you basically you never have to use the disengage action, but also, ranger spell. Jaggy terrain.
Spike
Kill
growth.
people. Spike growth.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, punting people through spike growth is great. Sap, when you hit someone, that creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll. Until before the start of your turn. That's really good, because that's a really good way of defending your party.
Well, particularly if you are playing like a kind of like a swashbuckler or something like that.
Exactly.
That's your whole deal. My brain never works. I'm just, thank you. I'm glad you get. You get. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. The slow feature, you knock somebody's speed down by 10 feet, which again, you can combo that with the little things, and it's great. It does specifically say that it doesn't stack if more than one person with that property hits someone with it. So you can't just reduce somebody's speed to 0 by dogpiling them.
But could you, in theory, with the dual wielder feat, you're Scottish, you have a pass. I can be thick because I'm Scottish? That's racist? I don't know. I have a degree. But it's in theatre, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes,
dual wielder.
Could you potentially dual wielder combo 2 of these? So, for instance, have slow and push.
Yes, because the Warhammer has push, and you can use that in one hand. And let's see, what have we got for slow?
We are such things as dreams are made of, Philadelphia. I quote Shakespeare badly all the time.
So if you have a Warhammer in one hand and a club in the other, yeah, you could just cunt someone back. You could slow someone down and then cunt them back. Like, you could never catch me. I'm the fucking gingerbread man.
I am so here. Sentinel and Sap. Oh, I don't know. I like the gingerbread man idea, but now I'm like Edwin's thinking with very, very long range portals.
There is. Oh, you want to make it better? There's the topple feature.
Do we get to knock people prone just for shits and gigs?
If they fail a Constitution save equal to 8 plus the ability modifier used to make the attack roll plus your proficiency bonus, which is really good.
Yeah, you don't normally get to, half save DCs like that as a marshal.
Yeah.
Life's good.
Yeah, you just knock them prone. And then
just get advantage on your second fucking attack.
Everyone gets advantage. That is the knock them over and everybody just dogpile them. And finally,
I'm okay with this.
And finally, if you can't manage the topple feature, because it's only on 2 weapons, admittedly, you have the Vex feature. If you hit a creature with this weapon and deal damage to it, you have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn. So, if you are, for example, a fighter doing the action surge boost, you can get a lot of advantage.
I mean, I feel like all you need there is to be like a fighter rogue multi-class.
Yeah. First attack gets you the advantage. Second attack triggers the sneak attack.
And at that point, you've just fucked everybody by only having 2 attacks and not even needing your action surge.
Yeah. 5 levels in fighter, which gets you a lot of shit now. Because I want to talk about fighters. Because I've talked about weapon mastery. I want to talk about fighters. Because I am.
Okay.
Topple is battle axe. Oh no, sorry. Battle axe, lance, maul, and trident. It's not on the. Oh no, it is on the quarterstaff. Sorry, I thought the quarterstaff was sap, but I was looking at the mace above it. So my apologies, Edward. Yeah, Topple's on a lot of shit.
Guys, I think this might be broken. I think we might not need classes
Well,
anymore.
Do you want to know what the best thing is? It's on the trident. You can throw a trident.
Wait, what?
Tridents have the thrown property. 2060. You can just throw it at somebody and knock them flat on the ass.
Just pin them to the fucking floor from across the map.
And yes, it does have the Mexican orcs.
Okay, sorry. Mexican orcs!
Yes. Let me just... Now, as every YouTuber that I have seen has said, the art in this book is phenomenal. Genuinely phenomenal. That's feats. There we go. So, but one of the things they did was they included this piece of artwork. Explain the orc race.
Okay.
Very Mexican coded.
Well, that feels racist.
Well, that does also come down to one of the other problems I have. Oh no, the art is good. The art is good. There is another problem I have, though. They seem to have cut a lot of flavor.
Cause I like the sprite art from Pokemon Gold and Silver more than I like any modern game. Doesn't mean the new ones are shit. But also, flavor. Why? I mean, given what you've told me about what they've done to the classes in terms of like flavor associated abilities.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not surprising.
It's not surprising. Still don't like it. Like a lot of there's not, like in the brief, the paragraph you get at the start of the class is now very brief. Fair enough. It's now it's a lot shorter and it's a lot more about what they do rather than how they feel.
Sorry, I just want to take a moment for us all to acknowledge that Philotovilia loves oozes.
Stylish oozes.
Possibly oozes, but you know, I'm not here to judge. You know, if you want to ooze all over the place, you go for it. I'm not gonna stop you. All right. If your style is oozing everywhere,
I do not like the fact that
I'm not here to judge, my bruh.
I do not like the fact that you use the word ooze in my presence, and I am very upset.
Multiple times.
I want to talk about fighters now because I want to talk specifically about fighters because previously I'm moving on. Because previously fighters have gotten all the flack for being the boring class, and it's true. But like fighters are very simple. I'm ignoring the chat. I'm ignoring the chat. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my happy place talking about fighters.
I make no apologies.
So, fighters have gotten a hell of an upgrade. Weapon mastery being one of those things because they get you get to choose 3 kinds of weapons, and you get their mastery. And when you finish a long rest, you can change one of them.
Oh.
So you can get access to all this. You still have that kind of master of martial prowess thing, and that plays so much better. And that's the most amount of masteries that any class gets.
Nice.
Also, they have made Second Wind a much more core feature, and they've made it better. So you still get your fighting style. Second Wind. You have a limited well of physical and mental stamina that you can draw on. As a bonus action, you can use it to regain hit points equal to a D10 plus your fighter level. You can use this feature twice. You regain 1 expended use when you finish a short rest, and all expended uses when you finish a long rest. When you reach certain fighter levels, you gain more uses of this feature, as shown in the second wind column. So you get a hell of a lot more survival, because previously, second wind, I think, like, it maxes out at twice, or 3 times, and, you know, let me just get the fighter page in the original book open, because I've got that in front of me as well. Yeah, second wind.
I remember
second wind, actually, I don't think you do. Oh my god.
Nobody really used as a fighter that I've played with.
You don't get more than 1 second wind.
That would be why.
You don't get more. Now, you get 4 at 20th level. Which is a lot more. That's adding a lot more survivability. That's all
Also,
level 1.
It refreshes what?
Fighting style, second wind, weapon mastery. That's all level 1.
Well, now we know what everybody's taking 1 level of multi-class into.
Yeah, you get your 4th second wind at level 10. So, like, your entire second half of the class, you have 4 second winds. And it gets better, because they now they've used second winds to fuel some things.
Bye-bye, sleep well in your beautiful Uwu's pit.
Good night, Philadelphia. It's been very nice having you. Yeah, you get... Right. They have made a change to Action Surge, which I do kind of appreciate. This is one of the few nerfs that I am kind of in favor of.
Speak your piece.
You can push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you can take 1 additional action, except the magic action.
Fair.
So they have eliminated the really, really fucking insane spellcaster combos that come with like a 1 or 2 level dip in fighter. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a reasonable thing to want to nerf.
Yeah.
Although, now that you've said it, I had never once considered the idea of a spell sword who gets to do 3 attacks and then a leveled spell. That sounds kind of great.
Now here's the thing I like about the change to second wind, because at second level, you get a feature called Tactical Mind. Brand new feature. You have a mind for tactics on and off the battlefield. When you fail an ability check, you can expend a use of your second wind to push yourself towards success. Rather than regaining hit points, you roll a d10 and add the number rolled to the ability check, potentially turning it into a success. If this check still fails, this use of second wind isn't expended.
Oh!
That's really good!
That's kind of like Battlemaster dice, but like better.
Yeah!
Less, but better.
No. Because it's still a d10.
Uses.
Your superiority dice starts at a d8. You have to go quite high up to get a d10s. And also, I think Battlemaster only lets you use it on certain ability checks. This is anything. And at level 2!
That is hardcore.
That's really good! 3rd level, you get your subclass. They've changed some of the subclasses, because we've got the Eldritch Knight, the Psy Warrior, the Champion, and the Battlemaster in here.
Because no Cavaliers. We've already been through this.
No Cavaliers. Yeah. You still get more ASIs than anybody else, which means you can go ham on feats. They did a cool thing with feats that I'll talk about later. Extra attack, level 5. And at level 5, you get something called Tactical Shift. Whenever you activate your second wind with a bonus action, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
That feels like some monk-ass shit right there.
A little bit, yeah. It's actually very roguish. But it's... like, I like that they made second wind a much more core part of the class, rather than an ability that basically stops getting used after level 5.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So they gave you more reasons to use it and more things you can do with it, which is... that's what this book should have been. Making features more interesting, or just tweaking them a little, and it's great. Indomitable at level 9, but also level 9, Tactical Master. When you attack
More
with a weapon
tactics.
whose mastery property you can use, you can replace that property with the push, sap, or slow property for that attack.
So you can just swap out that, just
Yeah.
casually, on an attack. You can be like, well, normally it's a nick, but today I feel like a sap.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
And that's the thing is, if
I
you're
think it's good that they don't offer it to just. You can't just do any of the 8 options.
7.
You can just 7. Sorry, you can't just do fucking anything. You get to pick like those 4. Was it? 3.
3. Push, slap. See, well, here's the thing. You have 3 masteries. At that point, you're kind of just picking one to leave out.
It's a fair point.
You have 3 already, and admittedly, you don't have 3 weapons in your hand, but that's still access to a lot of that's so much versatility as a fighter, which only builds with your number of attacks.
Jay,
Yeah.
should we make a fighter subclass based on Zoro from One Piece so that you can use all 3 of your masteries?
That would be
in one
fucking
round?
rad if either of us had ever watched One Piece, and I refuse to watch One Piece.
I have watched the live action, and it's good. And my wife has watched actual One Piece, so I am informed.
Cool. We might have to bring Vary on for that then. Yeah, 2 extra attacks at level 11. That's perfect. Level 13. You study your opponent and learn from each attack you make. If you make an attack roll against a creature and miss, you have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn. That's a good 13th level feature. Fuck, you're not breaking concentration. This is, okay, I missed my first attack. I have 2 more. The next one is a hell of a lot more likely to hit. And then you can just do more damage. Like, it improves the consistency of the fighter massively. And improves the damage a hell of a lot more than Hunter's Mark would have. That is it for core features, because at level 19, you get the epic boon that everybody gets. Like, level 19... blanket feature everybody gets to pick from the epic boon list. There's some good shit in there. And then level 20 is 3 extra attacks. Going below level 9, you use a weapon that has push, sap, or slow property. You change the weapon. Yeah, you can change out which mastery you have on a long rest. And then level 9, when you hit something with an attack, with something you have mastery, you can instead use push, slap, or slow instead of whatever mastery it had. So say you had something with topple, but say the guy's already on the ground. You can hit him with your quarterstaff and slow him so that when he gets up, he has to use even more movement. I'm not sure if I fully understand. I hope that clarifies things, Edwin. I'm not sure if I'm reading your comment correctly. But yeah, fighters have been made good.
I mean, fighters were always good, but now it sounds like they're very good.
But they've been made interesting now.
Interesting.
They've varied the things you can do. And in no point is this better exemplified than in the Champion, which was previously the poster child for boring but strong. Like, Champions weren't bad, except for the long jump thing. But they were really fucking dull. They were really dull. So, Champion. 2 things at level 3. You now crit on 19s, and you have advantage on initiative rolls and athletics checks. And after you score a crit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
So that's after you score a crit, you can move half your movement without provoking opportunity.
Yep.
I mean, it's still situational.
Yes, but also, did you miss the part where I said advantage on initiative rolls?
That's good.
And flat advantage on athletics checks. Just forever.
I mean, actually, I quite like that. I'm always a fan of something that, has versatility for out with combat as well.
Exactly.
Not in the way that Hunter's Mark does, because Hunter's Mark is just doing what you would normally have done a fucking nature survival check for.
Yeah.
Anyway, which you would normally have had advantage on because you would normally have had a favored terrain option. But I digress.
Level 7.
Yeah.
Another fighting style. That's good. That's just always been good. Level 10. Now, I had to do a little bit of research into this because it involves a new mechanic.
Okay.
But it's fucking mental. The thrill of battle drives you towards victory. During combat, you can give yourself heroic inspiration whenever you start a turn without it. Heroic inspiration is basically a token that your DM gives you. I think everyone starts with like 1 per long rest. You get 1 per long rest, and you can get it back if the DM is nice to you, or you get like good crits or some shit. You can expend it to have advantage on something. This is free advantage every single fucking turn.
What?
Yeah. This is free advantage on an attack every turn. 1 attack. At level 10. That's really good.
I mean, that's mental.
Yep.
Yes, I mean, Edwin, that's very valid. Lots of options. Well, that was kind of what we were talking about with having, because you've got 3 weapons. You've got 3 weapon masteries. You've probably lots of weapons on you.
Exactly. You're a fighter. You're carrying an arsenal. Yeah,
you can have a main hand and an offhand, and I suggested that we do a Ronin or a Zorro subclass, so you can also hold a weapon in your teeth.
Or play a Thrycreen. And just be swapping shit out.
Why not?
Yeah. Level 15, you now crit on 18s. And it does specifically say, your attack rolls with weapons and unarmed strikes now score a critical hit on a roll of 18 to 20. Just to specify. So like you get unarmed shit, because fighters still have the unarmed fighting style. And I want to make a champion who just punches people.
I mean, sure. And then you can crit on your punch on an 18.
Yeah, I just want to crit deck people. And then
I mean, I can get with that.
Level 18. This is previously it was like, okay, you get passive health regeneration when you're below half health, which was good. That was really good. This is better. You get 2 things. You get defy death. You have advantage on death saving throws. Moreover, when you roll an 18 to 20 on a death saving throw, you gain the benefit of rolling a 20 on it.
So you can crit on death saves?
You can always crit on death saves, but now you have 3 times the likelihood of critting on death saves. Because previously...
You get the champion crit on death saves.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Which is fucking insane. It's like, you will not die. And then you get Heroic Rally. At the start of each of your turns, you regain hit points equal to 5 plus your Constitution modifier if you are bloodied and have at least 1 hit point. That's probably 10 HP a turn. If you're building your fighter right.
It's not bad.
That's insane. Level 18. You're so hard to kill. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, that's such a good subclass. Like, it's only a little more interesting, but the features are a lot more exciting, it feels. Like, I like the different feels of this. And it's like, no, I'm getting powerhouse out of this.
And then more... What's the... characterful? I suppose it's the leaning into what's making them more interesting is that they're less generic. They're more focused on like particular things.
Yeah.
So it gives it more of a feel of what the champion's kind of meant to be, rather than it being a failed kind of like broad sweeping hit things guy. This
made me want to play a champion, which previously I'd never wanted to do.
What would you call your champion?
It depends on what they were. because
You
unique.
got one ready.
Yeah. Because I mean, it depends on the character, but honestly, I'm never gonna get over Bob the Destroyer or something along those lines.
I was gonna say, sorry, just off you saying unique and Dragon Craze saying unique, I am now here for a Warforged champion fighter called Yun IQ.
Un-IQ. I'm
Un-IQ.
stupid.
Yeah.
I'm stupid, but I hit good.
Cause that Un IQ.
So yeah, fighters, real fun. I'm gonna talk about backgrounds now. Because they do.
I believe that backgrounds were like a big thing in the upgrade to D&D. I've seen that a lot.
This is the thing I really, really like that they did. Because previously, backgrounds were just kind of nothing mechanically. You got a couple of extra proficiencies, and they were a good place to start for roleplay. They were really good for that. And admittedly, they have, as with a lot of things, toned that down a little bit with this. Because you have your paragraph for each background is a lot shorter. But every background now comes with a feat.
Well, that's cool as shit.
All of them. For example, Acolyte, you get the Magic Initiate feat specifically for the Cleric.
Okay.
Artisan, the Crafter feat. Criminal, the Alert feat. Charlatan, you get the Skilled feat. Like, if you want to make a skill monkey,
nice.
Rogue Charlatan, you suddenly have 7 proficiencies.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because you get 4 from Rogue, 3 from the Skilled feat, and then what? And then pick a race that gets a fucking proficiency.
Beautiful.
Guards get it's a short list of feats. I mean, for fuck's sake, farmers get the tough feat for free.
I like that.
It's like, oh, why would I want to be a farmer? Because you fucking hench. They made Elroy Bobson canon. Because that was always the joke. It's like nobody else is gonna understand this because it's a joke about the campaign I run. Basically, I have a guy who comes in every once in a while, but he doesn't play consistently. The character he plays is this sort of bumbling dog's body of the Adventurers Guild they're part of. His name is Elroy Bobson, and the joke is that secretly he's incredibly ripped. I think they have taken away. I need to double check the races, but I think they may have taken away Variant Human.
Because it was too. Everybody played it.
Well, like, Variant Human was kind of just not bad, which was sad because I wanted to be other things. Where's people?
What do you mean, where's people? The people are out there.
I mean, in the book.
Won't find the people in your room, Jay. You've got to go out into the world.
I wanna be where the people are.
No, you really don't. Because
Oh,
they're
no.
all disgusting.
Oh, yeah, okay, they have removed the Variant Human, but they've just made it part of Standard Human.
What?
You gain an origin feat of your choice. The origin feats are what I'm talking about here.
Right.
So there are specific feats that are listed.
Backgrounds.
So you don't get any feat. You get one of these origin feats that are associated with the backgrounds. So
Okay.
yes, a human would get 2. And that's still really cool. So it's things like yeah, but like when you get things like tough, alert, magic initiate, lucky.
You get magic initiate from your. Oh yeah, you said you get magic initiate from your background. Lucky, fuck off.
The merchant
Well,
gets lucky. Also, you get a little ability score improvement, apparently. Actually, from each of these backgrounds.
oh, that's even better. That also that gives a lot more incentive, I suppose, to buy into the background.
Yeah.
Species no longer give ability scores. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, there is that. That'll be the fist. That'll be the fix for that. which I will admit I do kind of like, because I like your ability scores being more determined by who you are rather than what you are.
Okay, but then what does species do for you?
Species gives you various features. It gives you your size, your speed. For example, orcs still have dark vision, relentless endurance, and... Holy shit!
The orcs have holy shit?
They have something called Adrenaline Rush. You can
Is
take the
that the
dash
ability
action
from
as a bonus
Skyrim?
action. When you do so, gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and gain all expended uses when you finish a short rest.
Wait, orc run fast, get healthy?
Yep. Don't fuck with orcs, man.
Orc is literally run, fat boy, run.
Yeah. Also,
The film.
Goliaths get a more kind of giant style ancestry thing now.
Cute, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
They have removed kind of subtypes, which I'm not a great fan of.
Imagine an orc monk with that. Oh my god.
Oh, mate. We're going to get to monks. We will
He's
get to
very
monks.
excited about monks.
But yeah, backgrounds. You get the ability scores are now tied to your background, which I like. Makes you it feels that you get less stereotype to play to for your races, which is good. You get your skill proficiencies, you get tool proficiencies, equipment, and a feat, which is amazing. They have changed a bunch of feats as well. Some of them are like a lot better now. But that's races. That's species again. Oh yeah, they also changed it from race to species, which, you know what? I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Feats, yes. Yeah, there's only so many feats. Origin feats are alert, which gives you you can add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls, and immediately after you roll initiative, you can swap your initiative with the initiative of one willing ally in the same combat.
I kind of always had that as a homebrew rule that you could do anyway.
Yeah, but now it's an actual official thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. So just like somebody gets the alert feat and then is like, but you, enormous tank, only rolled a fucking 2 on your initiative. Do you want to go first instead and I'll take your roll?
Yeah.
Wizard, you are preparing Fireball. Would you want to go first?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Lucky has been nerfed slightly.
Okay. I mean, that's probably good. How has Lucky been nerfed?
Okay, it's been nerfed and buffed. The nerf is that you have to use your luck point before the roll.
Okay.
You can no longer use it as a reroll. You use it to get advantage or give someone disadvantage. It's been buffed because you now get a number of luck points equal to your proficiency bonus. So,
Okay.
so instead of 3 flat, up at the top you're going to get 6.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, Edwin's just pointed out that a lot of feats give you +1 to your ability scores, avoiding the normal, sacrificing an ASI for a feat where you lag behind in terms of your
Yes.
stats.
They don't in the origin feat. In the origin feats, which I like. They've done that very carefully.
Just the feats you would take when you hit your ASIs.
Exactly. For example, everything. So, fun thing. They made Tavern Brawler even better.
Go on, tell me about it.
When you hit with your unarmed strike and deal damage, you can deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d4 plus your strength modifier instead of the normal damage of your unarmed strike. Cool. Whenever you roll a damage die for your unarmed strike, you can re-roll the die if it rolls a 1 and you must use the new roll. which means your average damage just went whoop. You have proficiency with improvised weapons, and when you hit someone with an unarmed strike as part of the attack action and deal damage, you can also push it 5 feet away from you. Once per turn.
That's nice. So reroll ones on your damage, and you get to push people.
And you get to shove people around. It's real good.
That's quite nice.
They also, as far as I'm aware, and I'm going to check this, they changed Grappler to not be the worst fucking feat in the game.
That would be lovely, but I imagine it would involve them actually making the grappled condition worth something.
Ability store increase. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike as part of the attack action on your turn, you can use both the damage and the grapple option, so you can just grab people when you hit them. You have advantage on attack rolls against someone grappled by you, and your speed isn't halved when you move a creature grappled by you if the creature is your size or smaller.
Okay, so there's a lot more moving people potential, and you get advantage on punching people that you have in a headlock.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's good, and it doesn't cost you an extra. Like, it doesn't cost you in your action economy because you do it as part of the attack.
Random side question.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about weapon masteries. Is there any way to get masteries on improvised weapons?
I don't believe so.
Because that would be fun.
I think that's something you would have to homebrew with your DM and be like, so what mastery property do you think would be associated with hitting someone with a chair?
What weapon mastery do you get for smiting with friends?
Exactly. But yeah, on that similar note, I'm going to talk about monks now because
nothing similar.
Improvised weapons, unarmed strikes, it all weaves together.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Monks are amazing now. I loved monks. 5e monks are very fun, but I will happily acknowledge that they are underpowered compared to everything else. Like, they are lacking in a lot of the damage department. And they, like paladins, they burn through their resources really, really fast. And some other classes get things that are basically what the monk does, but they get it better. For example, the rogue's cunning action. Every single one of these issues has been fixed.
Every single one?
All of them. So, let's see. Level 1, martial arts. Your practice of martial arts gives you mastery of combat styles and use your unarmed strike and monk weapons, which are the following: any simple weapon or martial weapons with the light property. Monk weapons have been expanded. You can do a shitload more with them. Oh yeah, that would be fucking scary. That would be very fucking scary, Dragon. You get your unarmed strike as a bonus action. That's great. You now started at D6 instead of a D4 for your unarmed strike. Goes up in the monk's foot. Use your dex instead of strength, of course. In addition, when you grapple or shove your unarmed, use the grapple or shove option of your unarmed strike. Use your dex instead of your strength to determine the AC. Unarmored defense, that's still the same. Monk's focus, level 2. Your focus and martial training allows you to harness a well of extraordinary energy within yourself. This energy is represented by focus points. Your monk level determines the number of focus points. You can expend these points to enhance or fuel certain monk features, yada yada yada. 3, flurry blows, patient defense, and step of the wind. When you expend a focus point, it is unavailable until you finish a short or long rest, at the end of which you regain all of your expended points. So you get them back at a short rest immediately, which is great. Your saving throw is 8 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency bonus. Flurry of blows, it's the same. Patient defense. You can take the disengage action as a bonus action. Alternatively, you can expend 1 focus to take both disengage and dodge as part of the bonus action. So disengage is free, and you can take you can spend a point to do disengage and dodge. Which is like, you can't hit me, and even if you could, you're gonna have a fuck of a problem. Step of the wind. You can take the dash action as a bonus action. For free. You can now dash for free as a monk. It's great. Alternatively, you can expend the focus point to take both disengage and dash as a bonus action, and your jump distance is doubled. That's a small tweak, but it's so good.
It's a small tweak that means that you win the Olympics.
And
Congratulations.
one of the main things with monks is their increased movement speed. This has now made that so much fucking better, because you no longer have to expend resources to benefit from that. Unarmored movement, same. Uncanny metabolism. This is where it gets fucking stupid. Level 2. This is still level 2. When you roll initiative, you can regain all expended focus points. And when you do so, roll your martial arts die and regain a number of hit points equal to your monk level plus the number rolled. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Once per long rest.
When you roll initiative, you get all your points back and a bit of healing. It gets more mental from here.
Fuck off.
But that is the most mental thing.
But it also means that resource management is dead.
Yeah, monks no longer have to realistically worry about their resources.
Just be like, as a wizard, you get to have all of your spell slots back just whenever you like.
Hi, Caspian.
Yo, Caspian. Yes. Just saying that
monks are mental
just for
now.
Just for Caspian, do you want to repeat the thing that you just said? The monks get at what? Level 2?
Level 2.
Level 2.
When you roll initiative, you regain all expended focus points, which is the new key points. When you do so, roll your martial arts die, which is a d6 now instead of a d4, and regain a number of hit points equal to your monk level plus the number rolled. This is the new 5e stuff, yes.
Yeah. The artist formerly known as 1D&D, formerly known as D&D 2024, kind of known as 5.5, kind of known as God only fucking knows. What the hell?
Monk's scary. And then at level 3, you get your subclass, of course, as everything does. I don't like that everything gets a subclass at level 3 now, because for some things it makes no fucking sense. Like paladins, warlocks, sorcerers, and clerics should absolutely get their classes at level 1.
But no favoritism now. Everything must be bland and the same.
Yeah. You're a cleric. What fucking god do you worship? I don't know. That's stupid.
I haven't made my mind up.
It's really stupid. You're a paladin. What oath did you swear? I don't know.
I just kind of thought I'd wander around and protect people, or maybe kill people. I don't know.
I will talk about sorcerer at the end, Caspian, because they have done cool things with the sorcerer that was like, oh, yeah, I kind of like this.
Okay, sorry. You just said they did cool things with the sorcerer. Let's be incredibly fucking clear, just so everybody understands. Jay hates sorcerers.
I fucking hate sorcerers.
Jay hates 5e sorcerers with a passion. He tried Phoenix Soul Sorcerer once, loathed it, and forcibly got his character auto-killed.
I have so many issues with sorcerers, and so much of it boils down to they're wizards, but bad. And they have fixed that. They've done a lot more to give them an identity, they've separated sorcerers and wizards a lot more, and they've given both a lot more of an identity. Like, sorcerers seem a lot more interesting now.
Again, small peek behind the curtain. What he means is that he phoned me to talk about this like 3-4 days ago. I was like, Chris, I'm not even kidding, man. I want to play a sorcerer. And I was like, excuse me, who are you? What have you done with my brother? You were like, no, I would legit play a sorcerer now. And I'm like, fuck.
The changes are not as insane as I had heard now that I've read the book, but they're still more interesting. I still feel that sorcerers have a problem where they should have more exclusive spells.
Fair.
There should be more spells that sorcerers get exclusively, because there's a lot that other classes get that are exclusive, but sorcerers kind of don't.
At least one sugar daddy spell per sorcerer.
Anyway, monks. Level 3, you get your subclass. You also get something called deflect attacks.
Oh yes, because now it is not only the missiles.
It is no longer deflect missiles, it is deflect attacks. When an attack hits you and its damage includes bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, you can take a reaction to reduce the attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals a d10 plus your dexterity modifier and your monk level.
Plus dex plus monk level.
Oh yes.
Does the d10 level up at later levels?
No, it does not.
Okay, that's a saving grace.
Yeah. But that's still going to build up to a lot of consistent boost.
Oh god, yeah.
If you reduce the damage to 0, you can expend 1 focus point to redirect some of the attack's force. If you do so, choose a creature you can see within 5 feet of yourself, if the attack was a melee attack, or a creature that you can see within 60 feet of yourself that isn't behind total cover, if the attack was a ranged attack. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die plus your dexterity modifier. The damage is the same type dealt by the attack.
Excellent.
That's the thing, yeah. The monk no longer has to worry about that, because not only do their non-direct damage features cost less, but also they get all their fucking things back on a fresh initiative roll.
Yeah, it definitely feels like you can be a lot more reckless in spending your shit now.
Yes. There is one slight thing, and I just want to double check this with the original book. Because... yeah. One of the things that... It's not... no, actually, it's more than that. It's actually more than that, right? Because
it's plus your monk level.
It's plus your monk level, plus your dex, and the monk capstone feature, which I will get to, has been so brilliantly fixed. Because here's the thing Uncanny Metabolism, it is the old monk capstone feature, but way better. That's what their 20th level ability used to be.
And now we get it at level 2.
Now you get it at level 2, and better, because it gets you more focus points and healing.
And casual, and then of course level 3 we have our casual deflection of fucking, just damage for shits and giggles.
Okay, slow fall. It's the same. Reaction, you take a reaction when you fall to reduce any damage you take from the fall by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level. It's not the best feature, but fuck me is it fun at high levels. It's really fun at high levels to just go skydiving without a parachute.
Very silly.
It's really, really stupid, and it's really, really fun. It's the same amount. It's exactly the same. Extra attack, stunning strike. They made stunning strike more powerful.
What?
Okay, they did add one of the nerfs that I think is a good idea. Stunning strike is now only once per turn.
That's good.
Yeah. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a monk weapon or an unarmed strike, you can expend 1 focus point to attempt a stunning strike. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target has the stunned condition until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the target's speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack roll made against the target before then has advantage. They made stunning strike better, the one feature in the game that did not need it.
Well, hang on a second, but also, because monk weapons are light weapons, and light weapons you can have things like, that Nick ability and things like that, because with weapon masteries, you're right. Fridge Makara, stunning strike clearly not strong enough.
Nope.
It was never. It needed more.
Somebody on the design team was a big monk main.
I mean, yeah, the design team definitely had a big monk main, because for your stunning strike to miss and you still get advantage on your next fucking attack, plus you have weapon masteries.
Oh, and make them slower.
Oh yes, and of course half their speed. Plus, you can, of course, free disengage and sprint away,
Yeah.
so they'll never fucking touch you. You can literally just whoop, 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 whoop,
Yeah.
right out of there if your fucking stunning strike misses.
Also love the fact that at level 5, a monk is making the exact same number of attacks for free as a 20th level fighter without action search.
Fuck's sake.
Because if you use daggers, if you use 2 daggers, you can use the nick thing, which means you get your normal attacks, and that bonus action attack that should have been a bonus action is now part of your attack. So that makes that a 3rd attack. And then you get your unarmed strike bonus action. And then you spend a key point to do flurry of blows, so you do 5 attacks in a turn.
That is mental. And also, Fridge, that would be paralyzing strike. That's how you know they're in a wheelchair.
Vegetating
That's just
strike.
like Pokemon. Everybody gets paralyzed and the hospitals are full.
We're just going to skate over the fact that I just said vegetating strike.
Vegetating strike.
I cast brain damage.
I cast spinal fracture.
It's like I cast sever spinal cord. That's the thing, is you don't have that. My thing didn't work. I guess that sucks then, which is a bad feeling if it happens continuously. And having spent an entire boss fight cowering in a corner because I was frightened of the dragon, it sucks, man.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in favor of anything that you're having to expend a resource to use. That there is always going to be some form of payoff that makes things a lot more satisfying as a player.
Yeah.
I feel like it does mean that as a dungeon master, you are just going to need to throw way more dangerous shit at people at much earlier levels.
So, I'm gonna speed through the next couple of features because I still want to keep discussing the monk and I want to talk about the sorcerer later. Empowered strikes, it's the same thing. I don't necessarily like it though, but they've changed it a little bit. Because previously it was your unarmed strikes now count as magical for overcoming resistances, which is great. 6th level, that starts becoming a problem. It's a good thing to have for overcoming resistance and immunity. This is you can choose their unarmed strikes to deal force damage instead.
Okay, that's
on that.
quite handy. Not a lot of stuff resists force damage.
Not a lot of stuff resists force damage, but if you are dealing with something that resists force damage, it might be a bit fucked. Evasion is the same.
It's optional though.
Yes, it is optional, but if something resists force damage, it probably resists bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing as well.
Fair.
Evasion's the same. Acrobatic movement's the same. Level 10. Heightened focus. Your flurry of blows, patient defense, and step of the wind gain the following benefits.
Oh Christ.
Flurry of blows. You can expend 1 focus point to use flurry of blows and make 3 unarmed strikes instead of 2. 6 attacks a turn, baby.
At 10th level?
At 10th level. And your martial arts die is a D8 at this point.
Fighters!
Yeah, I mean... patient defense. When you expend a focus point to use patient defense, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die, which is 2d10 at this point. And that's when you expend the focus points. That's when you get the dodge action and disengage and temporary hit points now.
Nice.
Step of the Wind. This is the one that is fucking terrifying if you have a druid in the party and someone is casting Spike Growth. You can expend a focus point to use Step... When you expend a focus point to use Step of the Wind, you can choose a willing creature... Oh, no, it's a willing creature within 5 feet of you that is large or smaller. This is still great. You move the creature with you until the end of your turn. The creature's movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So you can grab one of your friends and fucking bail. So say your sorcerer or your wizard or warlock is in a not necessarily great position. Grab, run. And you're going to fuck off probably about 100 feet because you've got plus 20 and you can go up walls and shit at this level.
I am just picturing retreat.
Yeah,
Basically, somebody and sprint.
The monk just throws the wizard over their shoulder and fucks off up the side of a mountain. up a vertical cliff, and you're going because it's your dash. You're going. You probably have 30 feet to start with. You've got plus 20 because you're at level 10. Ah.
So yeah, you are sprinting 50 or 100 feet.
Oh, do you know what? And here's the thing. It gets better because you actually get another feature at level 10.
What other feature could you get at level 10 given your last feature improved all the other features?
Self-restoration. Through sheer force of will, you can remove one of the following conditions from yourself at the end of your turns. Charmed, frightened, or poisoned.
Hey! Free poison heal! That's unusual.
Previously, this feature just gave you immunity to disease and poison. So, yeah, unfortunately you can't just cripple people with Stunning Strike. But if you, as we talked about earlier, with the grappler feature, if you do that, then you can do that.
So yeah, you just need to take 1 feat, and you don't need to worry about consent anymore.
Yeah.
Consent bows before the grappler feat.
Also, final bit of self-restoration. For anyone who's running a survival campaign, in addition, foregoing food and drink doesn't give you levels of exhaustion. Level 13, deflect energy. Your deflect attacks now applies to anything. Which is fucking great. Monks are now tanky as shit. Because here's the thing. That is a d10 plus 18. Because you've probably got 5 in dex at this point.
Yeah.
You can just knock a d10 plus 18 off any damage type.
Just for freeze.
Oh, we got a bot.
On it.
Disciplined Survivor. This is the same as the old Diamond Soul ability. Your physical and mental discipline grants you proficiency in all saving throws. Like, late stage monks were always pretty good. Like, Diamond Soul is a legit really good feature at this level. And additionally, when you make a saving throw and fail, you can expend a focus point to re-roll it and must use a new roll. Like, it is exactly same as the old Diamond Soul feature. Level 15. Perfect focus.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We haven't got to. We're just breaching later levels. Sorry.
Oh, no, it gets better.
Level 15. Yeah. Okay.
When you roll initiative and don't use Uncanny Metabolism, you regain expended focus points until you have 4 if you have 3 or fewer.
Wait. So now at level 15, not only can you just have all of it back for free.
Yep.
But you can also just have 5, regardless.
No, 4.
4. Sorry. So any combat you start, you will always start with a minimum of 4 points of resource to use.
Yep.
That's pretty good for level 15.
That's pretty good for level 15. I will say that. I think at that point that is actually balanced. But
I mean, certainly, if you're on long adventuring days, you are now the most in any long adventuring day. Like, fuck the fighter, and they're not having to use resources. Fuck any caster.
Oh, it gets better.
Finally call the marshals of the coast.
Oh, it gets better.
Like that.
Oh, because here's the thing: is all the straight marshals have been buffed. Because we haven't even talked about rogues or barbarians yet.
We have not.
Both of which got a boost, and I really like what they did with rogues. Because they made rogues not necessarily more powerful, but they made them more interesting.
I'm fine with interesting. Rogues were already powerful enough.
Rogues were always powerful, but they were a little one note.
Yes.
They've now made them more interesting, which is I'm a big fan of. Yeah. Level 18. At the start of your turn, you can expend 3 focus points to bolster yourself against harm for 1 minute, or until you have the incapacitated condition. During that time, you have resistance to all damage except force. And can reduce any damage that you take by a d10 plus 23.
It's pretty hardcore.
Monks are tanky as fuck now. And here's the thing. That's 3 focus points for a minute. So if you have to use your perfect focus thing, you have just enough to do that and a flurry of blows. So you could come out swinging. Yeah, they've made rogues more interesting because they've expanded the things you can do with sneak attack, which is fun because you can basically sacrifice damage for extra effects, which I think is really good. And it gives you a lot more to think about on a rogue turn rather than I hide, I pop out, I use my attack, I sneak attack, I hide. So it gives you more things to do with it, and it gives you, again, more versatility and things you can add to a party other than just shitloads of damage. I mean, the Thief Rogue has been changed a lot and made so much better.
That's good, because previous it was kind of like...
It was crap.
Default.
But they've made it a lot more actually usable.
In my mind, the Moon Knight special is punch fuck out someone, have an identity crisis.
I mean, a little bit. Like Fast Hands was alright, but honestly, it wasn't great in the original. It's better now. They've actually made it better.
We're a fan of better.
We're a fan of
faster hands.
Yeah. Yeah. 19 Epic Boon. 20th level for the monk. You have developed your body and mind to new heights. Your dexterity and wisdom scores increase by 5 to a maximum of 25.
I'm not gonna dignify that with a swear word.
That's the old barbarian capstone feature, but for dex and wisdom rather than strength and con.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
Your deflect attacks is a D10 plus 27.
Let's also make very clear that you've also just boosted your fucking unarmored defense by 10.
No, you boosted your unarmored defense by 4.
4.
Because a +4 gives a +2 in each thing. So you're getting 2 +2s.
2 things by 5.
No, you increase by 4 to a maximum of 25. Oh my god, a Gestalt Barbarian Monk would be genuinely fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like your monk attacks are now doing without any kind of magical bonuses, which you will have at this level. Because if you don't have magic weapons or magic items to increase your unarmed thing, then your dungeon master hates you. By this level, you're doing a D12 plus 7 up to 6 times a turn.
Well, fuck.
5 times a turn if you're just doing purely unarmed strikes.
So,
which is insane. Insane.
Just let me get this clear. Since the main things that we have focused on, I mean, we've talked around a bunch of things, but like, let's be very, very clear.
Oh, and your AC is 24.
What?
Your AC is 24.
Cunt.
Because
that was exactly what I was talking about.
10 plus dex plus wisdom. Your dex is now going to be plus 7. No, hang on. Yes, your dex is going to be plus 7. Your wisdom is going to be plus 7. It's 10 plus 14. So, you have 24 AC. And proficiency in all saving throws. And you could reroll saving throws. And you could reduce damage.
Just for the class, Jay, for the class. What was the Ranger's 20th level ability again?
I'm so glad you asked. The damage from your Hunter's Mark increases from a D6 to a D10.
Fuck!
We need to rebuild the Ranger. Now,
desperately need to rebuild the Ranger.
We've got 10 minutes left. I'm going to talk about Sorcerers.
Okay.
Because the new Sorcerer has given itself a much better kind of identity. I won't really talk about the Rogue because It's still good, but they've given you a bunch of shit where you can sacrifice dice off your sneak attack to add extra effects to what you're doing. It makes it a lot more interesting. It's a lot more fun. And you basically have, apart from that, it's roughly unchanged. Except for the thief, which, honestly, go and check, because it's fun. It's fun, and it's stupid, and I love it. And also Soul Knife is a thing. It's great.
Is Soul Knife good now?
Oh no, Soul Knife was always good, but it's in the book, and it's official. It's fun.
Oh shit! You know, it was fucking playtest content before, wasn't it?
No, it was in Tasha's.
Oh, it was in Tasha's.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember because I was like, Soul Knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Tasha's, fair.
Sorcerer. Same deal. D6 hit die, all that. Innate spell casting, four cantrips, X many spells. You prepare a list of X many spells so you're available to cast. That increases, and when you gain a sorcerer level, you can place one spell on your list with another sorcerer spell from your spell slots. So it's basically, the magic is unchanged. The first thing I liked is the first level feature, Innate Sorcery. As a bonus action, you can unleash your innate magic for 1 minute, during which you gain the following benefits. Spell save DC of your sorcerer spells increases by 1, and you have advantage on attack rolls with sorcerer spells. And you get that twice per long rest. That's good. That feels a lot more of what the sorcerer is, because the sorcerer conceptually was always really cool, because it's about the innate magic within you that has been brought on by magical accidents, heritage, whatever the fuck. And that's kind of like you're casting with your chest. And that kind of gives you more feeling to that. It's more of a feeling for that, which is really fun. Sorcery points level 2. You still get converting spell slots into sorcery points and sorcery points into spell slots. Meta magic. Now, meta magic is fun because you get different options. You can't, at this level, you can only use one meta magic option on a spell, and you get more options. It takes a while for you to get more options, but you can swap them out on a level up. Each one of the level up, but you only have X many that you know at a time. Which is a bit meh. Sorcerer subclass level 3. Bullshit. It should be level 1. ASI, Sorceress Restoration. When you finish a short rest, you regain expended sorcery points, but no more than a number equal to half your sorcerer level. Which I do believe is a new thing. Because level 5 for the sorcerer.
I don't recall sorcerers getting like free sorcery point restored.
They didn't get anything at level 5 before. Their 20th level feature previously was you regain 4 expended sorcery points whenever you finish a short rest. That was their previous 20th level feature.
20.
You now get that, but better at level 5 because it's no more than half your sorcerer level. Which means at higher levels, that stacks back up really well for short rests. That's really good. Level 7, Sorcery Incarnate. If you have no uses of innate sorcery left, which is your level 1 thing that gives you advantage on attacks and increases your spell DC, you can spend 2 sorcery points when you take the bonus action to activate it. So you get basically more uses with your sorcery points, which is great. Because that's a really thing. In addition, while your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use 2 meta magic options on each spell.
Hey, that's good.
That's really, really powerful and suddenly makes meta magic a hell of a lot more interesting because you're not just going through the fucking motions. And that's it until 20th level. Because the rest of this is covered by spells. 20th level.
But you get to stack your meta magics.
You do get to stack your meta magics while you're in this innate sorcery thing. So they've kind of pulled that forward. And it's again, you increase. I do wish that the DC boost increased as you went up. Not by much, but because your spell DC is naturally increasing. But that would have been cool. To have like it be your spell DC instead increases by 3 at higher levels rather than by 1. Because then, yeah, you can have like a
incoming question.
Well, before you ask the question, Caspian, let me get to the 20th level feature because this is really fun. Because you know how wizards get 3rd level spells they can cast basically as cantrips.
Yeah.
Sorcerers, while your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use 1 meta magic option on each of your turns without expending sorcery points on it. So once per turn, you get a free meta magic on a spell.
That's not bad.
That's really good.
Yes.
And that means that you're... no. You couldn't, because Quicken Spell just makes an action into a bonus action. Oh no, he's right actually. No, if you did it with a cantrip, yes. So you could do if you did Quicken Spell and Distance Spell on a Firebolt, you can bonus action, long range lob that shit. And then as an action, you could do fucking Subtle Spell and Extended Spell on Haste to just silently give your friend like doubled speed. So you could do 4 meta magics in a turn technically with that.
That definitely feels like there's going to be like a badass way of like comboing that, like a spell that like locks everybody down, and then like a cantrip that like fucks people up at higher levels.
Yeah, so you would use main action on a leveled spell to lock down your target. Say Hold Person. Bonus action, drop a transmuted spell, Firebolt, or something.
That's pretty cool.
So you could change up the damage types to do different things. They've also included some extra meta magic stuff in this, which is good. Because you get Twin Spell, you get Transmuted Spell, which lets you change damage types. Twin Spell is the one I was thinking of, I just couldn't think of it in time. So yeah, you could do bonus action like Firebolt, but change it to Lightning, because you know the guy's weak to Lightning. Main action, Twin Spell Haste. Twinned and Extended Spell Haste to get 2 of your buddies juiced up for 2 minutes. That's so much. And
very hardcore.
And at 20th level, you're not paying for one of those.
Yup.
That's like the sorcerer has its only small tweaks. It is only small tweaks, but it makes it a lot more interesting and buys in a lot more to what the sorcerer is trying to be. I want them because they will do more source books for this. One thing I want them to do is I want them to come out with more meta magics, because that will be the thing that would really push this over the edge, is giving sorcerers more ways to fuck with their spells.
I mean, fucking in 5e, warlocks get so many options. It would be really nice if sorcerers got more.
Yeah. We've got 2 minutes left. Warlocks! I did a thing to warlocks.
You don't like the thing they did to warlocks?
So, you get Eldritch Invocations earlier, and you do get more of them. You get 2 more than previous. They've made Pact of the Tome, Pact of the Blade, and Pact of the Chain into Eldritch Invocations.
It's kind of gross.
Don't like that. I don't like that. And again, they haven't done the thing that... Because there's things, I think Warlocks and Rangers can kind of be fixed in the same way. Whereas, like, they have a spell they identify with. Make it a fucking class feature.
I mean, I think that... But I don't think that solves all the problem. I think it solves a little bit of the problem.
I think it goes a long way to giving them a bit more of a thing. Because you and I have talked about the fix boot I would like to do for Warlocks, which is make Eldritch Blast a part of the class, and then have each subclass alter the Eldritch Blast in a similar way to Channel Divinity for Clerics and Paladins.
I mean,
I think that'd be cool.
It could be. I think it has the potential to be a bit limited, but
a little.
no, there's definitely options.
One thing I do like is that at level 9 for I like it and don't like it because it's that you have a spell prepared as a feature. Yeah.
Bye, Caspian.
See you later, Caspian. You get contact patron at level 9 for warlocks.
Contact patron.
Yeah, call sugar daddy. You always have the contact other plane spell prepared. With this feature, you can cast a spell without expending a spell slot to contact your patron, and you automatically succeed on the spell's saving throw. So it's a little better than usual because it's just you have the you can talk to them, and you get that once a long rest.
I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but also it sucks.
Yeah, they did fix Mystic Arcanum, which was one thing I straight up didn't like about the warlock, because previously it was higher than 5th level casting, but worse.
Yeah.
Because they've made one small change, and that is you can change your Mystic Arcanum spells.
That's good.
You can only do it when you level up.
It's still not bad.
But it means that you're not locked into the one spell that you picked.
Yeah.
So it's a bit better. Also, again, in a similar feeling, the old 20th level warlock feature, you now get at level 2.
What was the 20th level feature? I can't remember.
Previously, you could spend a minute to get all your spell slots back.
And now you can do that at level 2?
You can perform an esoteric rite for 1 minute. At the end of it, you regain expended packed magic slots, but no more than equal to half your maximum. So it's worse, but you do get it a shitload earlier, which means you're actually going to get some use out of it.
Well, I was going to say that does, again, it helps significantly with Warlock resource management.
Yes.
Warlocks are not supposed to have all the spell slots all the time, but it means that you are never going to be left without a spell slot for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah. 20th level, it just, when you use that, you now get everything back, which I still, that's one you should get earlier.
Level. Yeah.
And genuinely, for Warlocks, your 20th level feature should be you call your patron down. Like, you ask them directly to intervene and you get to do a big thing with them. Like, Divine Intervention. Oh yeah, also, they got rid of Divine Intervention. Instead, clerics can now get a free cast without concentration in an action of any spell of 5th level or below on clerics. Good night!
Fuck's sake. Well, that's been us, I guess.
That's been...
That fucking bombshell. A free cast of a 5th level or lower spell.
You can call on your deity or pantheon to intervene on your behalf. As a magic action, choose any cleric spell of level 5 or lower that doesn't require a reaction to cast. As part of the same action, you can cast that spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. Once per long rest. You can cast Hallow, which there's a fucking reason that spell takes 24 hours normally. You can do it as an action.
Wait, hang on. So wait, what? No casting time.
An action. Anything that isn't a reaction, you get it once as an action. That includes things that takes hours to cast.
Sweet zombie.
I'm just going to pull up the Hallow spell because it's the example I've seen a lot of, and it's fucking horrifying. Because.
All right, but this is bonus content.
This is bonus content, yeah. This is it. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna go. Hallow, level 5 Abjuration Cleric. Casting time 24 hours. For a fucking reason. You also skip the material components, remember, so the incense worth 1000 GP that is consumed doesn't matter. You touch a point and infuse an area around it with holy or unholy power. The area can have a radius of up to 60 feet, and the spell fails if the radius includes an area that is already in the effect of Hallow. The affected area has the following effects. Choose any creature, aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or dead. Creatures of the chosen type can't willingly enter the area. And any creature that is possessed by or that has the Charmed or Frightened condition from such creatures isn't possessed, charmed, or frightened by them while they're in the area. It's just gone. No saving throw, no bonuses, nothing. It's just gone. You bind an extra effect from the list below. Creatures of any type you choose can't gain the frightened condition while in the area. Everything goes dark. Everything gets bright and kills all magical darkness. Dead bodies can't be turned into undead. Creatures of any type you choose can't enter or exit the area using teleportation or interplanar travel. Creatures of any type you choose have the frightened condition while in the area. Creatures of any type you choose have resistance to 1 damage type of your choice while in the area. Everything is silent, and everyone can talk in the area. And oh yeah, vulnerability. Creatures of any types you choose have vulnerability to 1 damage type of your choice while in the area. You can set that up on an action.
In an action, you can literally just just create a totally impenetrable fortress and make anybody inside it that you don't like vulnerable to whatever the fuck you want.
Yes, you just turn around and go, "Hey fighter, is that a sword you're carrying?" Yes. Does slashing damage, right?
To slashing damage.
Hey monk, you know those 5 attacks you could do that are all bludgeoning damage? Or force damage? Do you want to double the damage on that?
Well, Kitty Winkles, that is in fact the end of the show. It's been lovely. The
We're
lesson
back.
is that we're back, and when you make a party in D&D 2024, new D&D, 1D&D, D&D 5.5, whatever the fuck you're gonna call it, you make a 3-person 20th level party out of fighter, cleric, and monk, and
Or just
then
go
you
all
win
monk.
at D&D.
Or just go all monk. Thing is, clerics can
Kill
do that
the
at
Trask
10th
in
level.
1 turn.
Chris, clerics can do that at 10th level. That's not their capstone. That's their 10th level feature.
I give up.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, everybody. We are back.
super
We will be
nice.
doing this
Alright.
Monday nights.
Yup.
Sorry we've been away, but shit's been a bit crazy. But we are back and we're doing this again. Friday night streams might also be starting up again. Chris is building a new fancy gaming PC, so we might start playing games together on Friday nights because that might be fun.
That's the dream.
Failing that, I might start doing dev streams again, because man, I really need to get back into that. I am planning to do the whole Game Maker's Toolkit jam again, although that's I think in August, so I don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah,
for
tons
now.
of time.
Yeah, tons of time. Yeah, you can find us on various social medias. You can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You'll get the notifications for this. That's about it. But you can follow my games company, which is Ald Alliance Games, which is at ald_games. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. Please do go follow there because the demo for our first major project, I Thought There'd Be Stars, is currently available on Steam. Please go and wishlist it, play it, give me any and all feedback. Throw as much feedback as you can at me because God, I need to hear this stuff and we need to make it better. Because we are doing updates every month. The latest build for it was actually released Saturday. We're improving the art assets, improving the builds, everything. We're trying to create the best feature we can. And it's going
So
well.
play the fucking game.
Play the fucking game and give me the wish lists. I need the numbers so I can go to the money men. And you can find Chris at various places on the internet. At Chris Honey Actor on Instagram.
Me
And
at Chris Honey Actor on Instagram, and you can go and follow my theatre company, Short and Sweet Theatre, at Short and Sweet Theatre, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on X. We're now on Facebook, I believe. Apparently, we're talking about LinkedIn, but that seems like a really an esoteric idea that we might consider one day for fun. But yeah, we're gonna go to the Edinburgh Fringe. We had a really good time at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival this year. Made good money and got reviews and things in. So we're gonna we're making the show even better, and we're gonna take it to the Edinburgh Fringe. So yeah, if you happen to be in Scotland in August, come see us. If not, go look at the stuff that we're gonna post on the internet, because we're going to try and make it enjoyable and entertaining, because that sounds like a fun way to spend my time, so we'll go for it. May not need VAs. Need an aspiring American VA. if we are doing anything that does end up requiring voiceover, then abso-fucking-lutely. We will certainly, we'll put out a call. Go for it.
And you might get a call from me as well, Dragon, actually. I'm not doing any voice stuff in games at the moment, but
the next project will have voices in it. When there's money involved, we might get voices in it.
That'll be great. Yeah, and as always, you can always find us here at The Brothers Honey on Twitch, and we will be, all of our shit is on YouTube. That is The Brothers Honey on YouTube. All of our previous streams, all of my dev streams, all of our City of Mist campaign, everything.
And all of the things yet to come.
And all the things yet to come, because we do have plans, we do have ideas. I think we talked about them in our start of
previously.
I think we talked about them in our start of year video, but I'm not going to say anything in case we didn't, because I don't remember. That was months ago.
It was a very long time ago, and I'm fucked. We're in May now.
Oh god.
I don't know. I don't know why. Revenge of the 5th. My brain's fucked. Let's give up.
And also
bye, everybody!
Night, everybody!